But what I was saying is I would make it where they wouldn't drop power-ups, and to combat that, to balance that out, well, actually, I had it where you could buy them, and to balance that out, I removed it to where they dropped randomly. So then if you ever needed them, you had to buy them. So you didn't have both of them right there, which honestly, I don't really think in most maps you need that, but for my map, I felt like just because of the layout and how everything was, that it balanced it better that way. Again, most maps probably don't need that, but it doesn't seem like you have either. So, map creator. If you want to look into those, that would probably be really fun. It's super easy to set up. Being able to buy perks, it's super easy to be able to modify the values for them and put refresh timers on them and etc. So like a cooldown on them, so you can only use it every like 5 minutes or something, as opposed to someone sitting there and buying a nuke every 2 seconds. Or you could just make the cost pretty ridiculous, like so they couldn't actually do that. So for example, if they were buying it over and over and over, you could just have it where it costs like 10,000 every time they wanted to buy a nuke or something, and so they couldn't actually just sit there over and over and over and get to a really high round because there was no way that they'd die. Now, something I was going to say, okay, I think it's the map 444 or 555, one of those, or maybe even 666, any of those maps in the series. I do believe there's this ridiculous point requirement at the end for like 420,000 or something like that, some insane amount, and it literally took me, I think it took me 3 or 4 hours to beat the map. Like, it takes so long to do it. That is silly. That is stupid. No one is going to be able to ramble on and be able to entertain for that long by themselves. Maybe co-op, probably not. People are probably going to get fatigued. People aren't going to want to watch grinding for points for that long. And that's just from the YouTuber's perspective, okay? And the perspective of like thinking about making a map because people are going to watch it. The playing thing, who's going to want to play that? Who wants to play the same custom map, doing the same thing, just running around in circles, getting points for hours? No, why would anyone want to play that? Why would anyone want to do that? Why would anyone want to watch that? It's just, it's really bad. I don't like that. I think there was some special way to get extra points, or I don't remember why. Maybe they thought they could justify it and they had something set up. I don't actually I think there may have been some gun that helped get points a little bit, but it's still, again, it was still a lot. It still took a very long time. There was no bank, which is a feature that a lot of maps don't really have anymore. I think it was too buggy was the main issue, because I know it used to glitch on me on a lot of maps. So maybe that's why people don't have it. I think it was a really cool concept. It did kind of like artificially inflate the amount of points that people would need. And then if it broke, then you were screwed. Because it's like, oh, well, the map assumes you're going to be using the bank. So now you need 10 times the points that you normally would. Oh, man, and the bank's broken. So now it's actually going to take you 10 times the amount that it should be taking you and that it normally would have taken you. And it's just, it's very weird how whenever they implemented the bank, it was supposed to be this like nice helpful feature to where you slowly put in a little bit, and so like if you can tough it out through it the map and not spend all of your points on equipment, that you'd get rewarded. But then it eventually became that it just like inflated everything, and so everyone saw like, because you could make money so quick, it's like, oh, well, duh, everyone's going to do it, so we need to accommodate, like, we need to counteract it by going ahead and, like, making the money worth, like, 10 times less. And it's like, what? No, that's not it. So what I would do, for example, is say you could get to the box at, like, or, the bank, sorry, say you could get to the bank at, like, round 5, so you could do a few box hits, or you could deposit your money. So you deposit your money, and then in like 3 rounds, it doubles, it triples or something, okay? So instead of getting a ray gun on round 5, you're then able to pack-a-punch your PPSH at round 9, okay? So you have tougher times at the very beginning to be able to be rewarded in the future. That's what using that was, I think, supposed to do, and that's what I used it for. And then a lot of people saw it as a lot of people didn't do that. And I think people thought that people would just like oh man, it's round 10. I haven't used the bank yet. Now I'll go ahead and deposit my stuff now that I have all this. Whereas you get a lot more money if you did it earlier, but you'd have to be better at the game to be able to do it earlier, which is, you know, obviously with the immense amount of practice I have in the game, I was able to do it much earlier than other people. So I don't know if that's really where the banking whole thing went wrong, or if it was just because it was buggy, but that's not really something that people use all too much anymore, unfortunately. Now let's keep moving around here. What are some other cool things we can talk about? That was a really long rambling, I guess. I mean, it's not really rambling. It was like a very I wouldn't say constructed topic, but it was a topic. It wasn't really rambling. I was actually like pretty focused on one subject for a while I'm trying to get all these points. We're actually super close to getting it. We're at round 13 right now. I project round 15, round 16 we'll be able to get it. It depends on how quickly we're going through this ammo, because it actually does seem like we're going through it pretty fast. So I am kind of wanting to get double tap, but at the same time I'm like, I don't know. It'll give me more stopping power as well, which I kind of don't really want, but at the same time it'll help me empty a little more ammo. But ooh, this could be bad if they kept spawning right there, because I do not have much PPSH ammo left. I shouldn't have used that clip before. I should have just kept buying more MP40. Obviously there are no power-up drops. We're at round 13 and we haven't gotten any yet, so it's very clear to me that that is not something we'll be getting. I thought the PPSH would be something that I would want to grab. It has turned out that I don't want the PPSH right now. If you're playing this map, I do recommend you get something that you can use for points, or something that you can do for fun to goof off with a little bit. This map actually does not feature Pack-a-Punch, which I don't know if they were just like, you can beat it super quick, whatever, dude. But you have a bunch of perks, which I'd probably rather Pack-a-Punch than buy a bunch of perks, to be honest. That could just be the way I like playing. But I think a lot of other people as well would rather Pack-a-Punch than to get every perk. You could put it right up there. I mean, you could put it on the wall somewhere. You can make the map slightly larger and then have it up there. Like, where would be good? I want to try and make a solution to it without disrupting the flow of the map too much. And I think the best way would probably be to be up there, or to have it like on one of those walls. Obviously, if you move the layout a little bit, you could move the power switch, and you could have the power switch on the left, and then have Pack-a-Punch right there if you wanted to still kind of have the layout in a similar fashion where there's like spots open. I mean, obviously you can stick it literally anywhere right here if you just don't care where it is and you don't really care about the aesthetics. But the way you have it set up, I'm assuming you do care about the aesthetics, because, you know, the layout does look kind of nice. So, how could you do it? I mean, there's a lot of... I think, actually, if you could move this perk machine somewhere else, because this is kind of out of whack, because there's two perk machines and then there's something else in between them. And then we don't have the same thing on the right side. So you could have the something else between them be the Pack-a-Punch machine. And then maybe you could just take out a perk from the game. Or you could add in another one, and you could put those two right next to the power right there. I think that'd actually probably be really good. If you could have two, add an additional perk, which there's tons of very useful tutorials that you could look up to get one more perk. So you could put one right there and one right there, and then have Pack-a-Punch right there in between the two perk machines. Or you could, you know, there's so many different combinations to the layout that you could go ahead and modify. And I'm thinking 15 is where we're going to be getting this. I'm really hoping we get it at 15. We may be able to get enough points for it at 14. It's just I don't know how many points we're getting per buy is the biggest thing. Like, I see how many points we're getting, and I can kind of guess like how far away it is. Like, I think we may be able to get it this round, but if me buying the MP40, if it's not generating enough points, then that's the only real issue that I see with being able to accomplish this, to being able to actually complete this and buy the ending within this round. But we are super close to it. I mean, we're like 25,000 away, 2,500 away. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to crunch numbers and run and shoot. There's There's 3. Oh, and talk, you know. So there's 4 things I'm focusing on. Obviously, breathing is another thing. If you're going to say that, moving my fingers, you know, like I could go very specific with these if I really want to. I'm not, though. That's just kind of droning on. We can definitely get it this round. Like, even if no more of them spawn, I kind of want to kill them all and then win now. So I think I may do it around 15, right at the beginning. I don't know. Round 14 obviously looks a little cooler because we're like, wow, dude, I did it. Isn't that great? I'll try and make a crawler, actually, here. Can we get it? Can we do it? Can we get the crawling zombies? Please? Hey, look at that. Ooh, that dude is way too fast. We have that 1, but like, come on, man. I need more than the 1. There's 3 from that group, though. And I think we're good now. I think we are good. Okay, here we are. And we escaped the room. Achievement unlocked. Badass. That is how we do it. This map was posted by CK Gaming 23. The download link will be in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any interest in seeing more of these maps, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to give me suggestions on what you want to see as well. Casey, I just called you Casey. I swapped it around. I made it into a name. Your name's actually CK. Hold on. It's 3 a.m. CK Gaming 23. If you would like to talk to me about map making in whatever capacity, either be collaboration or have me help test maps, bounce ideas, you know, or anyone listening at all, feel free to contact me. Doesn't have to be CK Gaming 23, and I think that would be a lot of fun to bounce things back and forth, ideas or testing or what have you. And yeah, I think that pretty much concludes this video. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next one, take care. Goodbye.